So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our Administrator, General Charles Bolden.
Thanks a lot. And I'm going to ask you guys in the media to excuse me for a second because I came out here for one purpose and two purposes. One was to thank the folk who were responsible for the vehicle and then get a look at the vehicle, and you all were kind of extra, so I'll get to you, but I want to... How many over there were on the Anchorage? Anybody? Come on up here. You were on the Anchorage? Did I meet you when I was out there? And I apologize, because... No? Where were you? Down in the bowels of the ship? Okay, anybody there on the, come on up, all you that were on the Anchorage. I'm going to tell a story about these guys. All right, good to see you. Anybody on the Salvor? Come on up. Come on up. Who else? All right, who's going to be the spokesperson from the Anchorage? Who's going to be, you on the Anchorage or the Salvor?
I was actually from the recovery.
Okay, here? You on the Salvor? Come on up. You're automatically the spokesperson. You come on up. I'm going to ask one question of each. Tell me what was your most interesting experience in the whole, however many weeks you were out there. And it could have been unusual, could have been exciting, could have been something that just said, oh shit. You all can't talk that far. And then the same thing from you from the Anchorage. Come on up.
Well, my
Tell
third
them
part.
first of all what the Salvor was, because these guys don't, some of them know, but most of them don't.
So Charlie's got me on the spot right now, but I'll do my best. The Salvor was the backup recovery ship that we were going to use to recover the Orion crew module in the event that the U.S. Anchorage wasn't able to get her in. I guess the most interesting thing was actually seeing Orion come down after listening to the recovery operations and hearing that dual sonic boom, and then watching all the parachutes deploy. That was really cool. And then on the way back, we got to fish, so that was pretty cool. We had a couple barbecues.
You tell them what the Anchorage was and what it...
Okay, the USS Anchorage was the recovery ship where the CM was actually placed in the back. Most interesting part was the actual landing, and it landed in Stable 1. Also, I think some of the things that we should also give a big hand for the USS Navy. Gave me a real appreciation for the sleeping conditions that they have to go through every day. We did that for 9 days, and you know, it's a bunk about maybe about 3 feet wide and about 6 foot wide, and so if you're taller, your head's on one end of it and your feet are cranked up on the other end. So, but just a real big appreciation to the Navy and all the forces that helped us recover the vehicle, get it back in this condition. Real big hand goes out to them because they laid out the red carpet for us, and really appreciated that.
Thanks a lot. Thanks to all of you. Thanks very much. And they just kind of represent part of the team that was out there, the NASA, Lockheed Martin, U.S. Navy team, and I'm glad that we mentioned that because I was only out for the final test that was done. Having lived on ships before and all that kind of stuff, I was still incredibly impressed because my last time on a ship was significantly different. And for the young ladies in the audience here, I'll tell you, to stand on the bridge of the USS Anchorage and watch this multi-billion-dollar maybe ship being maneuvered around to go pick up the test article with a young I think it was a 2011 graduate of Old Dominion University, and watch her command the ship. For me, with 3 granddaughters, was awesome. So that was probably my greatest experience in getting ready for it. I was here, so I didn't get to see the landing, but I really did want to come out and thank you all for all that you have done so far, and tell you, stay excited. That was just the first. We've got more stuff to come. You're getting ready to get the vehicle ready for the ascent abort test. We'll get that behind us. We've got things we've got to tick off. And that's what's most important to remember. Don't get impatient. Be inquisitive. If you see something makes you nervous, find somebody to talk to and let them know, because this is the future, and we're going to make it good. And I could not be more proud than to be a member of this team. So let us know what we can do to help you, because you're the ones that are going to make all this stuff work. For the media out here, thanks very much for coming. we're really sorry you didn't get to see a launch this morning. I know that's what you really came out for, but same thing I told them, be patient. Space flight's hard, and we find that out every time we go launch something, particularly when they're successful. Because when they're successful, you get into regimes that you're sometimes not familiar with, and we learn something every single time. And I'll tell you, if we're not learning, we're not doing something right. So bear with us as we get ready to go. Hopefully we'll get off on Friday. It's a really important mission for us for a number of reasons. One, because it's the next step in getting supplies back to the International Space Station, and the next step to getting us closer to launching humans from this same area on commercial vehicles, and that's really important. But for today, I'm here to see Orion. It's our pathway to it's the vehicle that's going to get us on the way to Mars and to asteroids and to other places. It is an incredible vehicle. Don't know how many of you have had an opportunity to look at it up close. This will be my first time actually seeing Orion up close and personal after it came back, so that's why after a couple of questions I'm going to take my leave and go look at it. It is an amazing looking vehicle considering what it's gone through. Just in case some of you may be just covering this because you know your editor said go out and take pictures, or go out and if they give you a chance to ask a question, ask this question. Some of you may not be familiar with this. Orion is the crew module intended to carry humans to deep space. This vehicle is unique in that for the first time in more than 40 years, this is the vehicle that went farther than humans have ever launched. Anyone has ever launched a vehicle intended to go to deep space, to go somewhere beyond low Earth orbit. It went to about an altitude of 3,600 miles. That's a long way out there. Long way out there. 2 big orbits, and then came back, and it underwent more stressful re-entry than anything we've had since the Apollo era. And you can look at it yourself and see that it came through pretty well. If somebody has a question and it doesn't, it's from anybody. Preferably, first preference goes to the employees over here, and then to the socials, and then to the regular press. So I promise I will at least answer 3 questions, or try to answer 3 questions, or somebody back here will answer. How about that? Anybody over here and the employees have a question that I didn't already answer for you? No. All right, we're good there. How about the NASA social folk?
We're trying.
That's all right. Okay, how about the regular media? I know somebody got a, James wrote me, I know your editor sent you out here with something.
General, I was wondering about your reaction to learning that the GAO had upheld your commercial crew contracts to Boeing and SpaceX, and if you could discuss any more about why you picked them in the first place.
I won't go into any detail, James, but we were all very happy that the decision was finally made. Without saying, we had a very good selection process, source selection board, selecting officials, so we were relatively confident that we were going to come out the way we did. So we're just happy, and we're ready to move on. And I would refer all of you actually to the GAO and their final report when it comes out, and also pay some attention to what the 3 companies themselves are saying. I thought Sierra Nevada had a really good statement the other day, and so I would just refer you to them.